Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending. We'll get started in just a few minutes. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for attending this webinar today. My name is Jason Perry, and I am the National Sales and Marketing Director here at Medicare Advantage Specialists. Cannot believe that spring is already here. It seems just like yesterday we all started working from home and trying to adjust to what we call a new normal. But most and many of us are back at work, with the upcoming AEP season upon us. We definitely feel like today's presentation will be well worth your time. Before we get started, I'd like to take just a brief moment and share with you some information about MAS. So for those of you on the webinar today who are new to MAS, we're a nationally recognized award-winning field marketing organization and a leader in the insurance brokerage industry. Our office is located in beautiful Hoover, Alabama, which is just outside of Birmingham. We're excited to share with you that MAS became a partner of Integrity Marketing Group back in October of 2019. We had a long-standing relationship with Integrity Marketing Group over the years, and it was a natural alignment for us to become a platform partner. Through this, MAS will bring more products, more tools, more resources to our broker distribution. We're truly honored to be working alongside our partners in this industry. And at MAS, we're very proud of the superior service, support, and training we provide to the agents across the country who work with us. We take great pride in our relationships with our agents and our carriers. Our staff provides marketing strategies and assistance, creating numerous opportunities for our agents through lead programs, our Turning 65 platform, our agency builder program, our Fast Start initiative, and other programs. MAS marketing managers are eager to work with producers to help you grow your business. We can provide a market analysis of products available in your area to assist you in developing a strategic marketing plan for your business. We're always up to date on the latest products, carriers, lead programs, and services as they become available. And of course, we're always able to provide both back office and field support, making it easier for you to concentrate on sales growth. You know, our goal is to help you grow your business. Our specialty is the senior market, and our carrier portfolio is supported by Medicare Supplements, Medicare Advantage, Final Expense Whole Life Term, Universal Life, Critical Illness, Cancer Plan, Annuities, and many other products. So let's talk about the MAS Resources and Rewards Program. So MAS has actually partnered with CSG Actuarial to offer agents a wealth of resources in order to stay at the top of the competitive insurance industry. Whether you're in your office or out in the field, we have multiple ways of helping you access the production and plan information that you need to help you and your clients make the best decision for their insurance needs. So agents that actually have contracted through MAS can easily register on our website to access the quoting tool. Just visit MedicareAdvantageSpecialist.com and click on the register button for our agent portal and granting you access to our quoting tool. From there, you can easily run quotes for 200 plus companies, do plan comparisons, research and underwriting conditions 24/7. There's even an online application tool for many Medicare supplement carriers. This next tool is so intuitive and innovative. You know, it's exclusive to agents contracted with Integrity partners. You get access to a smartphone app, which provides you access to MA and MedSup plan comparisons and rates, final expense quoting, and underwriting information right there at your fingertips. And the coolest part of this software is the T65 Map. So imagine you're working in a specific area of town. You just open the app and letting the app identify your location. Then little red dots of people turning 65 or who have just turned 65 pop up on your map. And then being able to touch that pin, that red pin, and being able to see their name, their address, and the most competitive MedSup in that zip code. Very, very useful tool. So for more information about this awesome tool, please contact MAS Marketing Manager today. Also exclusive to Integrity Partner agents, we're pleased to provide you access to the Medicare Center, which is a multi-carrier online enrollment tool. So once you're registered and confirmation of your agent readiness is completed, excuse me, you'll have access to be able to send electronic comparisons to your clients quickly and compliantly. You'll be able to cross-compare plans among multiple carriers. It even has a doctor lookup and formulary lookups for all the carriers built right into the system, so you never even have to leave the platform to check this information. You can then enroll them online, or you can enroll them via text message. Very cool tool for 2021. You can use the CRM system tool to track new and existing clients. That CRM becomes your database of your people, and you can manage it, and then greatly increase your sales by saving you time. You can enroll a client in 20 to 30 minutes without even leaving your home or office. So awesome tool. So the best part about this whole tool is it's offered to our agents absolutely free. So if you want more information on the Medicare Center, please reach out to MAS and speak with one of the marketing managers. So we've said this before, your success is our success. We want to help you develop your business. We're pleased to offer MAS agents access to a lead program. So whether you're direct to MAS or you're working with one of our agency partners, we want to help you see more prospects. We work closely with our carrier partners. We talk a lot about recruitment, and oftentimes we find ourselves doing a really great job at recruitment, but that's really not enough for you or us. It does no good to get an agent on a contract and he or she does nothing with it. So we want to help you write that first piece of business. So for new agents to MAS, we have a Fast Start initiative. So we give you a $25 Visa gift card for the first issued app only one app when you get that card, and a $75 Visa gift card with 4 or more apps issued in the same month. And if you refer an agent, there's a $50 Visa gift card that we give you when their agent writes their first piece of business. And that is actually for direct to MAS agents only. For our agents interested in building their own agency, we have the Agency Builder Program, which is designed to help an agent do just that, build an agency. We'll run our auto dialer to call agent recruitment lists. The auto dialer will give the agents answering the call the option to press 1 to speak with a live rep. If they do press 1, the call will be connected to the agent that's trying to build the agency and give that person the opportunity to recruit that agent. If they don't answer, a voicemail, the system leaves a voicemail automatically of a recording that the recruiting agent records, or we could even record one for you. We have a script and everything. And we also lower lead costs by splitting the lead costs into thirds. If it's an agency, MAS will pay a third of the cost. The new GA will pay a third of the cost, and we always like the agent involved to have some sort of skin in the game, and they pay a third as well, which comes out to about $150 a piece. So very, very affordable, and it keeps everybody in the game. So here we have some ideas for marketing to your future clients turning 65. Just a few. So, direct mail, referrals, mailers, or hot knocks. So many of our agents have had success selling Medicare supplements over the phone, especially now. And good old grassroots marketing or door hanging, which is basically hand delivering direct mail. So remember, you don't have the same compliance rules when you're marketing Medicare supplements or some of the other products as you would with Medicare Advantage or prescription drug plans. So we all know that growing your business is only going to happen if you develop a winning strategy. Consistently putting in the work and utilizing smart tools and platforms like we have that make it easier for you to do your job and do it well, be an expert in your industry. A few years ago, we developed a Turning 65 workshop platform. So we assist our agents in identifying target markets for the Turning 65 population. We created a process that's so simple for agents to follow that we now have many agents hosting weekly and monthly meetings, which basically creates a tremendous stream of lead generation, filling the pipeline. We've created what we call Seminar in a Box. We're making it so easy for you to get in front of more people. We've done everything for you, so if you can read, you can give a seminar. We work with a lead vendor and mail house out of Texas. We work with multiple ones, but for this particular program, the one out of Texas. We created an exclusive letter promoting a T65 workshop. Basically, you find the location, and then we work with the vendor to identify the number of eligibles, and we mail the agent customized letter. And what that is, and you can see it on your screen, it's got the little red bar that says at the top, and it says turning 65. We actually create this marketing piece that looks like it comes specifically from you. So all of your information is pre-populated in there. The other workshop components on your screen, we've put together. It's all customized. It looks like it comes from you, and we put all this together for you. They actually have a Making Sense of Medicare workbook that they can follow along. They have a really extensive FAQ, and then you actually have talking points. So again, if you can just read the script, I mean, it's completely written for you, and it's enough information to where they're being informed, but also it shows them that it's complicated enough that they need a trusted advisor like you. So it's really a win-win for everyone. If you want to know more about this program, just give us a call and talk with one of the marketing managers today. So why choose MAS if you're not with us? Because we're here to serve you. We understand our long-term success will define itself based on your success as an agent or as a carrier. Medicare Advantage Specialist is committed to exceeding our clients' expectations in every interaction and helping you achieve that same level of service with your customers. So agent support is our primary goal. We provide every tool we can to assist you in the efforts to identify, inform, close, and follow your sales process. In more practical terms, our marketing team works arm in arm with you to deliver print media, internet, direct mail, and other marketing tools, keeping your pipeline moving, because that's the objective. We have one of the most experienced support teams in our industry. So here's our phone number so that you may reach out to us with any questions after today's webinar, or you can type questions in the chat box and we'll address those at the end. But there's so many other things that MAS has to offer, so please give us a call. You can check out our website also if you'd like. Just visit MedicareAdvantageSpecialist.com. Okay, so now let's get to today's webinar subject. So we have with us the Assistant Vice President of Sales with Guaranteed Trust Life, Dimitri Simos. Dimitri's worked with MAS as a partner for a very long time, and now we're happy to have him with us today. So Dimitri, I'll go ahead and give you control if you want to take it away.
Absolutely. Good morning. And yes, Jason, spring has begun because today marks the start of the Masters. So.
Oh, that's right.
You know, this is a tradition like no other that starts off spring.
Absolutely. All right, you should have control.
Okay, great. I believe you should be seeing my screen right now.
Everything looks great.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. And wow, Jason is absolutely spot on. I recently had a conversation with someone, and we're talking about how long I've been with GTL, which has been 17 years, and then how long have I been with MAS, working with them as as partners, and it's pretty much been about 16 years. So yeah, so we got a very long partnership together with MAS. I consider them more like friends and family. So whatever we can do, and you guys have done a great job in creating the various programs to help your agents be successful in the senior market. So great job, guys. Kudos to you guys. So let's get going and talking about hospital indemnity, because today that's what we're here to talk about, the Advantage Plus hospital indemnity plan with GTL. If you're wondering, a little bit about GTL, if you're not familiar, a lot of folks know GTL, Guaranteed Trust Life as GTL. So if I were to say Guaranteed Trust Life, a lot of times people will say who, and then when I say GTL, they're like, oh yes, okay, now I know who you're talking about. But we are a mutual company, family-run business, founded in 1936. We're based out of suburban Chicago, Glenview, Illinois, and it's actually probably something that it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat setup that we have, I think, at GTL right now. That big building you see right there on your screen, that is our actual home office. We house about 300 employees there uh, during normal times, of course, but and hopefully we're getting there soon to get everyone get back into the office. But we do everything from this one building. We go everything from customer service, underwriting, claims, commissions, marketing, supplies, everything you can imagine that you need from a carrier is all done right there. And why do I think that's important? I think it's important because it's if you have a question or a situation and you contact MAS, and then MAS will contact GTL, to get an answer, it really is, as you can probably see from the building, it's a matter of walking a number of feet to get the answer from the right people to be able to get this way you can get something taken care of pretty quickly. And I think from a service perspective, that's one thing that GTL is second to none on for sure. Is that our service is spot on for you, the agent, and for your clients, the insureds. If it's something that I think is really important and one of those intangibles that we really don't think about a lot, but it is very, very important. We are licensed in 49 states, and we have an AM Best rating of an A minus. Now, GTL has been a leader in the senior market for a number of years. Probably a more recent history. We have really done I think, a really good job of transforming and kind of updating and being more being even more of a leader in the senior market by creating a suite of ancillary products or complementary products. I like to use the word complementary, quite honestly, because it is really a complementary. All these products are complementary sales to Medicare Supplement or Medicare Advantage and such. So I think it's something that's I think it's a great word to use, and people understand what you mean when you say complementary. But we're going to talk about Advantage Plus today. You may find that we have a Medicare Advantage available in your particular state, so don't be surprised if you see that. We do have a couple of short-term care products. One's a short-term nursing home product called Recover Cash, and the other is a short-term home health care plan, which is a very popular product in the market today. Something that something to definitely consider if you haven't spoken to your clients about short-term care at all. Make sure you definitely give a call over to MAS, and they'll they'll give you some of the background on the short-term home health care plan. We past April, a year ago April, basically, we came out with a new graded benefit whole life plan called the Heritage Plan. So if you have a client that has some health issues, and can't get traditional final expense, well, a graded benefit plan would probably be something that can definitely help them to be able to get coverage for, from a final expense perspective. And then we have a couple of different types of cancer plans. We have your traditional type of cancer, heart attack, stroke program, that you may be familiar with. And then we also have a non-traditional type program called Precision Care. It's a lump sum cancer plan, but it also offers a benefit for genomic sequencing. It's a one-of-a-kind product. You can't find it anywhere, in the market, but at GTL and through MAS here. So that definitely your one contract that you get contracted for GTL will cover all these products and even some more that I don't have listed on here today. So definitely, to take a peek and look, explore, and I think there's a lot of opportunities for you. Obviously with MAS, but then also from a product perspective, to help build a solid portfolio of protection for your clients. I always like to start off the conversations really with a question, and the question really, the main one is that when are your clients going to ask you to lower your out-of-pocket costs? You probably know that answer already, right? Probably never, or very, very rarely, right? And so now what is it that we need to do? Part of the thing with complementary sales is that we want to make sure that, that part of why we're going to talk today and have you understand the hospital indemnity plan is that I want you to be able to be confident enough to talk to your clients and be able to show them what the opportunities are for them to have protection, so that this way down the road, they're going to be able to receive benefits out of those programs. The problem is that a lot of folks out there, they kind of think that they sell a Medicare supplement or they sell a Medicare Advantage plan and then they're done. Unfortunately, that's not the case, because many programs, even underage health, has gaps in coverage, right? health insurance will not pick up everything, in total. So unfortunately, folks find that out when? After they have a health event. So after they have a health event, they're going to find out that they all of a sudden have a copay that they need to pay, and then they got to take care of that copay, and then all of a sudden they're like upset because they're like, well, I don't have the dollars to be able to pay that copay, and then they return to us as agents and they say, help, I need to get this paid. How do I get this paid? Unfortunately, we all know once a health circumstance occurs, typically that means you probably can't get insurance to cover that, so cover that give protection for that client. So then it's unfortunate coverage is too late. So it's going to be important, and I'm going to stress this a lot, and you'll probably get tired of me saying it, but it's something you got to you got to be stressing these complementary type products to your clients every time you talk to them in some shape or way or form. Okay, got to bring it up. They may not want to hear about it today, but 6, 9 months down the road, never know, things can change. Always keep bringing it up, because eventually they're going to either say, okay, I've heard this for the 50th time, I don't want to do this, I'm done, and you'll, okay, fine, no problem. Or they're going to say, you know what, let's talk about this. You obviously feel very passionate about this. Let's see, what is this all about, and let's see if this makes sense. Okay, so it's very important, definitely keep having those kind of conversations and touch points with your clients throughout your relationship with your insured. So it's definitely something that we need to really keep an emphasis on too. When we're talking about complementary products and obviously the Advantage Plus program, this is coverage that's going to be important for you from your perspective. Okay. Like again, I guess I'll reiterate it again here real quick, is that if you do 100, if you see 100 clients, you got to present 100% of the time, because if you try to pick and choose which clients you're gonna, might want it or don't want it and so forth, you're like, oh yeah, they can't afford it, you're gonna probably not have a really good closing rate. But if you do it 100% of the time, you probably find over time that your closing rate is going to be somewhere around 60 to 70%. And your presentation on it just becomes that much greater too, right? Because you're doing it a lot, you're talking about it, you're very comfortable. So it's important. But one of the things when it comes to a hospital indemnity plan and why it's important to you is that it protects the book of business while you're not there, having a hospital indemnity plan. And how does it happen? It happens because Medicare Advantage plans, we know, have copays, correct? That's part of the deal. But now you protect your client against those copays. They're not going to be concerned about anything going on. Now, let's say if you're an agent that doesn't do anything in addition to the MA, you just sell an MA and then you go on to the next appointment. Now I'm the agent that's going to come in, I'm prospecting, I'm trying to gain new clients. I call up your insured and say, hey, Mrs. Jones, my name is Dimitri Simos, and I've got I'd like to talk to you about your Medicare coverage. And, oh, sure. Who do you have? Okay, great. Okay, you got that. You got this MA plan. Oh, what a great MA plan. Yeah, that's perfect for what you have. No doubt about it. That's exactly what I would do too. So obviously, this situation, you're not gonna, you might not have an opportunity at MA today, right this moment. But the pivot happens is that, did your agent talk to you about how you can take care of that $300 copay for your hospitalization copay, or maybe your ambulance copay? And the insured may say, no, what are you talking about? I can do that? Next thing you know, you're having a conversation about hospital indemnity, and then now you get a sale for hospital indemnity, and then down the road when AEP comes around, it's time to take a look at MAs again. Who do you think that client's going to want to talk to? The person that just sold them the MA, or the person that took care of those out-of-pocket exposures for them? My money's going to be on, they're going to want to talk to the person that took care of the out-of-pocket exposure. So then now you have that in right there. They'll take your call, and then you can have that MA conversation next AEP, and now you got both their MA and their hospital indemnity, and then the other protections down the road. So that's really how it could help. This is how hospital indemnity plans in particular could help you from while you're not there, defending your book of business. Now, I used to travel quite a bit prior to the pandemic, but we're going to get back to that, I'm sure, sometime soon. But conversations that I've had with folks is like, oh yeah, hospital indemnity plans, you don't get a lot of benefits out of it, and this slide right here, what this slide is telling us is that these are individual policyholders that have received these benefit amounts from the hospital indemnity plan here, the Advantage Plus. So we had one insured that received $60,000 of benefit over the course of the policy when it was in force. I've had others that had gotten $33,000. I've had others that had gotten 20,000, 10, 5, it goes up and down the range, right? But the important thing here too is that how many of our clients have this kind of money sitting around in savings? The answer really is not many at all, right? Okay, so now wouldn't it be a great feeling to be able to say I offered somebody a hospital indemnity plan? They don't have to go, they don't have to beg dollars from family and friends to take care of that out-of-pocket exposure because they're taking an insurance plan. They're paying pennies on the dollar to get access to a significant amount of benefits. That's what this is all about. So this is going to be great for folks that don't have any savings either, right? But even for folks that do have savings, because how about if folks have these kind of dollars sitting in their accounts? You think they're going to want, if they have a health circumstance that comes up, they're going to want to take $30,000 out to take care of their health circumstance? No, they probably won't want to do that, right? So even if folks have some, means in their accounts, it's still pennies on the dollar get access to a significant amount of benefit. It's definitely it works up and down the line. It does not matter whatsoever if somebody, everybody can qualify for this plan, and everybody could have a need for this plan for sure. Now, when we're going to talk about the hospital indemnity here, the Advantage Plus program, it's been a program that's been in existence now for over 15 years. We were the first company that came out with a hospital indemnity plan that was flexible and with, had the benefits were very closely aligned to what the Medicare Advantage world was happening there. Because back in 2005, when Medicare Advantage was coming out, we were all trying to figure that out. And as we were looking at the Medicare Advantage plan, what was determined and noticed was that there was copays and there's maximum out of pocket, and for very low premium or zero premium on that MA plan. So we were like, well, if a client has a maximum out of pocket, back then was what, $6,700 maximum out of pocket potential, federally mandated. Yeah, the individual plans might have 4,000, 5,000 and such. So why would I want to put risk like that onto my insured with no protection, right? So let's create a hospital indemnity plan that'll take care of some of the bigger things that can get somebody close to a maximum out of pocket potential, and be able to have a premium range from about $25 to about $60 a month is the range that we're looking at. And this way, now the clients are going to have protection, and the agent's making a second sale, which then the second sale means generating an additional commission, and it's going to be a second policy for the client too. So what does that mean now? There's another layer that we can talk about real quick. If you sell one policy, they're a customer, right? You sell 2, 3 policies, they're clients, and they're going to stay with you then, right? So that's, so all of this together, when you put it all together, really does help in growing your business and to providing protection for your clients and just doing the best job possible for them for sure. So everything, so 15 years of experience being in this market with hospital indemnity. We haven't had any rate increases in the 15 years. Don't expect anything in the next 15, 20 years. So everything's looking great. It's everything's going along according to plan. And we've helped a lot of people over the years, that's for sure. So let's talk about now from a sales perspective on how to sell hospital indemnity. This was a pretty familiar site now over a year ago, but today it's a mix. It's going to be either face-to-face meetings or maybe telesales. Okay, either way, but the whole premise is still going to be the same. Okay, so you're going to get together with your client. You're going to say, "Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. My name is Dimitri Simos. It's great to meet you. We're here today to talk. You asked me here today so we can talk about your Medicare options. I'm going to go over Medicare supplements with you. Let's go over what Medicare Advantage is and possibly even talk about a hospital indemnity plan too." So at the very beginning, I just kind of bring it up to kind of lay out what my conversation is going to be. Okay, no problem, right? So you go into your presentation, you're talking about Medicare supplement, then you're getting into your MA presentation now. And as you're going through your MA presentation, you're going to go over the information that's obviously important, that that, for example, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you got a monthly premium of $0 with this Medicare Advantage plan. Obviously, there's a little bit of a smile there, and they'll look probably a little look out of the corner of their eye to you as you're talking about this. And okay, great, they're probably happy there. And then as you go further on down, you're gonna get to the point where it says, okay, here's your hospitalization copay. It could be $250, $300, $350, whatever that number is, and for however many days that copay is for. And you're gonna just point it out. And there's, they're probably gonna start doing some quick math there, okay? And start thinking, well, how much is that really gonna cost me if I get hospitalized for 6 days? But then this is where you're not selling the hospital indemnity plan at the same time as you're doing the MA conversation. This is when you're going to just plant the seed that you're going to have a hospital indemnity conversation. And you're going to tell the client, if this daily hospital copay is concerning, you prefer not to have to budget for it, don't worry. After we review this Medicare Advantage plan's benefit and copays, I'll explain how to lower your out-of-pocket expenses with a hospital indemnity plan. Does that sound good? How many of your clients are going to say no to that, right? Of course, they're all going to say, yeah, no problem at all. Or you could use this verbiage here where it says, many of my clients have their healthcare coverage designed so hospital stays leave them with zero out-of-pocket expenses. Would you like me to try to design a similar healthcare plan for you? Again, something that, a couple of different ways of doing the same thing. And then as you're hitting other key points of where there's exposure for maximum out-of-pocket, like skilled nursing, maybe when you're going over the radiation chemotherapy, 20% copay for drugs, right? That gets applied to the maximum out-of-pocket. So if someone gets diagnosed with cancer, they're going to hit 20% of their radiation chemotherapy copay. So whatever. So if their MOOP is, now in today, because it's changed to 7,550, right, as the maximum out-of-pocket federally. So that could be another big one. All you have to just say to them is use that same language about, or similar language along the lines of, this skilled nursing facility has a copay. Don't worry, I will talk about this I'll show you how I can take care of this when we talk about the hospital indemnity. Very simple. You're not selling at the same time, just letting them know that there will be another conversation afterwards. So now you're done with the Medicare Advantage plan. They go over it. They're going through application for it now, and then you got a couple minutes in between, kind of dotting the I's, crossing the T's type of scenario, and now you got to transition back over to. Now you're going to transition to the hospital indemnity conversation. We have some marketing pieces that are available to you through our e-app. We have a video that if you're connected to the internet, you can definitely use this video. I'm going to play that for you right now.
So you just enrolled for Medicare Advantage health coverage. Great choice. Did you know that there's a way to protect you from the out-of-pocket expenses you incur when using your Medicare Advantage coverage for hospitalizations? Help fill any gaps in coverage and strengthen your financial protection with an Advantage Plus hospital confinement indemnity insurance from Guarantee Trust Life Insurance Company. Since 2005, GTL's industry-leading Advantage Plus has been helping clients lower or completely eliminate their net out-of-pocket expenses stemming from Medicare Advantage copays and deductibles after a hospitalization event. Coverage is affordable and pays policyholders directly based on their time in the hospital, regardless of any other healthcare coverage they have. In addition, you can incur potential out-of-pocket costs for ambulance trips, outpatient surgery, skilled nursing, critical accidents, dental vision, or cancer treatments. Advantage Plus can help. Advantage Plus is offered year-round, and it's guarantee issued for ages 64.5 to 65.5. Now let's take a closer look at how it works. Meet Brian. He is 65 years old, and his Medicare Advantage coverage leaves him responsible for a daily hospitalization copay of $250 per day for his first 5 days in the hospital. The high copay is a concern for Brian. There's an easy way to help alleviate his concerns. The GTL Advantage Plus Hospital Indemnity Insurance Policy provides a restorable 6-day benefit period of $250 per day for $22.64 per month. Brian later suffered an illness that kept him in the hospital for 5 days. After the first 12 hours in the hospital, his Advantage Plus coverage kicked in. What is the out-of-pocket cost he will incur when he leaves the hospital? With his Medicare Advantage $250 per day hospital copay, his 5-day stay totaled $1,250. Luckily, Brian's Advantage Plus benefit of $250 per day for 5 days was paid directly to him and completely covered the cost. Instead of worrying about how to pay this large sum, Brian could focus on his recovery without this financial setback. GTL's Advantage Plus is flexible and versatile, with a strong set of riders to match the desired coverage for each policyholder. So what if Brian had to take an ambulance to the hospital for his illness? Adding the ambulance rider to Brian's coverage would cost him less than $5 a month, and Brian would receive $200 each time he uses an ambulance, even if he is not admitted as an inpatient. Now is a great time to think about GTL's Advantage Plus.
So, like I mentioned, this video is available to you through our e-app. As long as you're connected to the internet, you can definitely play with, play it for your clients, or you can even take that video and embed it into a social media or into an email blast if you do that with clients and such. So there's some other things you can do with technology that that video could be used for sure. Now, if you're not connected to the internet, an appointment because you don't, there's no cell service or something like that, not a problem. We do have infographics that you can order from, through our e-app under GT Link. You can order the infographics, so that this way you can have that with you, and you can just slide that across to your clients, and they can take a read through beforehand. One of the nice things I like about the video or infographics, it hits on the high points already, in terms of what the plan can do and what the benefits are for the plan. So this way, now when you bring it up, when we talk about the plan itself, it's going to make more sense because they're going to hear it for the second time from you. So it's I think it's a very nice one too, to be able to have a conversation about hospital indemnity. Now, if you happen to have a large book of MA clients and you haven't had a chance to go back to them and talk to them about hospital indemnity before, not a problem. We also have available a direct mail card that you can take to a printer, and they can print on the client's address and your contact information. Some of the clients, that if you want to mail that out and the clients want to, they're interested, they want to talk to you, they can send, call you back about that. That's another option. Also, you'll find in our GT link under consumer marketing, this is where you'll find the infographics, the direct mail piece, the video. You'll also find a client presentation. It's a PDF. So it kind of help walk through a presentation with a client. Now that's another option there that has been created, for your use. And this is right here is the back of the PDF of the direct mail piece right here. A lot of people, I kind of laugh when I say this, but a lot of people always ask me, well, what is the secret to selling complementary products? And I bet you guys can guess already, because I probably already said it 2 or 3 times early on, right? It's just bringing it up. It's presenting this 100% of the time. Okay, there's no substitute for just kind of doing what you and I are good at. We're good at talking. We're good at having conversation with folks. This is all we're doing, is having conversation. Our conversation will lead to sales and lead to protection for your clients. Just got to bring it up 100% of the time. That's the secret to cross-selling in general. Okay, it's not a hospital indemnity secret, it's an in general secret. So hopefully I don't kill that too much in terms of that we have to talk about it, but it is that important though. Now, if you're wondering where the hospital indemnity plan is available today, it's available in 44 states. So if you happen to do business in Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, California, Alaska, or Washington, D.C., I can't help you. But everywhere else, I've got a plan for you, right? Which is great. So you'll notice that Florida, instead of being green, it's blue. In Florida, we have the same program, but it's an association-based product there. So it's a little different than what the traditional, what you have, every other state has. But the biggest difference is that there's an association attached to the program, and then it's called Indemnity Plus in Florida. Okay, so what is it good? What do you want to know about complementary products that's important? Probably the neatest thing about it all is that, if I buy this plan in Alabama, and then I leave Alabama and I go to California to live, I can keep that plan with me, even though it's not available in California. I can keep it with me. And if I get hospitalized in California, as long as my policy is enforced, I'm going to get benefits out of that plan because I bought it when the resident state that I was living in had it approved and ready, available for sale. Or if I go on vacation, if I go to vacation in New York, let's say, and I get hospitalized in New York, I can go ahead and file a claim because because I had the plan. And the nice thing too is that it doesn't matter which MA plan you're talking about or working with. It could be the national MA programs, regionals, whatever it is, doesn't matter. There's no specific MA plan this works great with. You know how what works great with it? You got copays, out-of-pocket exposure, and maximum out-of-pocket. If you got those things going on right there, then you can have that conversation with your client all day long. And also, it doesn't matter, what, in terms of, it doesn't matter what if the MA plans change or not. If it, you can set it up. You can set up the plans that they would be ready to available, can be just kind of laid on top of any MA plan that's out there. So it's very, very diversified, very flexible in terms of the way you could use it. And one of the things that I love about the insurance business, quite frankly, is that we can be creative. We can do some really good things for clients by just expanding our mindset and being able to be creative on how we use the products. And probably the best part of, for you, from your perspective, is that there's no certification required for this product. So that's probably pretty good, I'm sure. So our base plan. I'm going to talk about our base plan here. We're going to try to keep it a little bit on the high level side here, but we have a few daily benefit options. We have a 1 day benefit period. Then the options available in the 1 day benefit period will be $1,000 to $2,500 of benefit if someone's hospitalized for a 24-hour period. That's what the definition of being able to get a benefit is a 24-hour period hospitalized, and you can get it from anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. Okay. Now, does it matter? I know you're probably thinking, I've heard of people having issues with with insurance and observation statuses and versus confinement and so forth. See, that's a beautiful thing about our program. We don't care, or we don't consider what the status code is in terms of confinement or observation. Were they admitted in the hospital for 24 hours or longer? The answer is yes. They're going to be eligible for a daily benefit, which is really what you want. You want your clients to get those daily benefits to be able to take care of the exposure they have. Now, I know I just talked about the 1 day right now real quick because I'm going to leave that for a while. But probably in your world today with the MA plans that you may have available to you, you're going to probably have a multiple day copay scenario going on. So we have a 3, 6, 10, and 21 day benefit period options. The benefit periods in general, 1, 3, 6, 10, and 21, they will restore if the insured's out of the hospital for 61 days or longer. Now, doesn't mean they have to use up their whole benefit period. It just means that every time that they're out of the, they get hospitalized and discharged and they're out for 61 days, they're going to get a brand new full 10-day full benefit period available to them. Even if they only used 1 day or they used all days of their benefit period, okay? Just want to make sure I stress that. What do we, daily benefits of 3, 6, 10, and 21, the maximum you can get is up to $750 per day. I'm going to tell you, I'm a big fan of, take a look at what your copays are in your MA plan today. Always make sure you take a look at offering an additional $30 to $50 more than what they have on their copays today. And the reason being is that, I'll probably say this one more time today, but your clients, we don't know, clients don't know, you don't know, I don't know, nobody knows what next year or 2 years down the road is going to bring from a Medicare Advantage perspective. I have no idea. So now what happens? Now it happens if you cover $250 today, because that's your copay today, and then 2 years from now it goes up to $300, and now your client wants to protect that up to $300, but they have health issues now. So now we're not gonna be able to have them be protected for that. For that increased amount that changed over time, right? So that's why I kind of suggest there to kind of give them an additional $30 to $50 to be able to take care of, any possible, change that could occur. But also in the meantime, They have a copay today of $250. They have $300 of benefit with our hospital indemnity plan. Not a problem. We'll still pay them the $300. So they could use those extra dollars. How do you think? Well, maybe you got folks that have dogs and they need to kennel them. There's a cost associated with that, right? So that extra $50 a day that they get for each day in the hospital, they could use that for whatever they need to. Kenneling a dog, or maybe getting additional supplies for medical help, or whatever the case may be. Or they could take it, go down the road and spend some time in the casino. Whatever they want to do. That's how simple this is. Okay. Now, you can probably ask, what is it that most people submit into GTL? Well, quite honestly, they send in about this. They use a 6-day to 10-day the most. That's what we see the most applications come in with. And I understand the why using a 6-day. I'm okay with that. But I prefer the 10-day personally. And why do I prefer the 10 days? For the same reason why I ask you to do an additional $50 a day on the daily benefit, because I need flexibility. I don't know. Yeah, today your copay may be a 5-day copay for that hospitalization, but I don't know if that's going to be the same 2 years from now. It may go to 7 or 8 days. I have no idea, but I do know that even though your copay is 5 days, but if you're hospitalized for 10 days, Mr. Jones, let's say your copay was $300 a day and you did 300, you're going to get $3,000 for being hospitalized for the 10 days. So now you can take them, $3,000, a portion of that goes to your copay, and the other portion of it can be used however you need to be used. So that's, so there's a definite benefit, and because again, what I, early on, what I say, you don't know what's going to happen health-wise, so I can't bank on making changes down the road. Also, as part of our base benefit is an emergency room benefit, which is $150 if admitted to the hospital within 24 hours because of an accident or injury. And then there's also a mental health benefit of $175 per day, up to 7 days for a year, if confined to a hospital for mental nervous disorder. And the last component that makes up the base plan is our Ask Mayo Clinic benefit, which is an online symptom checker that the folks can use. If something's going on, they can go online and ask Mayo Clinic. We all know Mayo Clinic is well-renowned, health system, and let's frankly, let's kind of look at it this way. If I have something going on health-wise, am I going to want to go on the computer, go into the Google search, put in my symptoms, and hope that whatever Google search comes back is it going to be maybe a quarter accurate, right? But at least with Mayo Clinic, you're going to have some thoughtful, and meaningful information provided to you there. So it's just automatically part of the base benefit for the clients. For me, when it comes to Medicare Advantage plans, it's about taking care of the maximum out-of-pocket exposure, and our riders, I think, do a great job of doing that. Our ambulance rider is a very affordable rider that that clients are going to use, because most clients, if they, if they're scared and not doing well, they're not going to call, their kids up to come wait an hour to get taken to an emergency room, right? They're going to call an ambulance right away. So it's going to be a copay taken care of right there, so you can get a benefit for them right there. So about $50 to $400 is a range of benefit there. No hospitalizations required. It's 4 trips per year, 12 lifetime trips. We also have a rider that's very unique to GTL. It's called short-term duration rider. What this rider does, it provides a benefit if an insured is hospitalized and discharged in the initial 12 to 24 hours. So remember, on the base plan, we talked about, if you had a 6-day benefit period or 10-day benefit period, and it takes 24 hours, 6 times to get 6 days worth of benefit period, right? Well, what this says is that, client got scared, they got hospitalized, but they got discharged before that 24-hour period, be somewhere between 12 to 24. They're still going to be eligible for a daily benefit amount that could be payable to them. So it's a great way to be able to, get some benefit into the client's hands to use for some of the out-of-pocket exposure that, that you always get whenever you get admitted into a hospital. One of my favorite riders, and I think the most, the reason why it's my favorite rider is because I think the opportunity to help people is going to be pretty good with this. It's a lump sum cancer rider. 1 out of 2 folks will get diagnosed with cancer. On an MA plan, radiation chemotherapy copay is 20%, what gets applied to the maximum out of pocket. You get diagnosed with cancer, you do any of the treatments that are out there today with the smart drugs and everything, they're probably looking at about 80, 90, or $100,000, for treatments, right? So if you have to take 20% of those numbers, you're hitting the MOOP. I'm sorry, there's no questions asked there. So for, again, pennies on the dollar, when you're talking about lump sum cancer, to get access to a significant benefit is very, very important, just in general, okay? Skilled nursing rider is another one that I like a lot too. I think it's something that if you're getting the skilled nursing facilities, you're gonna hit your MOOP there too. We have a couple of options. We have day 1 coverage from day 1 to 50, where you can choose 100, 150, or 200, or you have a second option that's available that provides benefit from days 21 to 100. Well, the insured will receive $120 a day for each day they're in a skilled nursing facility. The skilled nursing facility rider, what's unique about this too is that this rider will reset after 61 days when the insured is out of a skilled nursing facility. So that's key right there too to know. It's important there because typically in the short-term care world, it's usually a 6-month before anything resets. With this, it's 61 days. So it's a nice benefit. Critical accident rider is a nice little rider add-on, and then there's an outpatient surgical rider that's payable 2 times per year. Now, I know you're probably thinking, or I should say I'm talking about hospital indemnity plan in the terms of Medicare Advantage a lot. Again, what I say earlier about what I love about this business is that we could be creative. Absolutely be creative. Your client does not have to have an MA plan to buy a hospital indemnity plan. They can have a Medicare Advantage plan as long as they're within the issue age requirements, which is going to be ages 40 to age 85. And they can answer the health questions. No, they're going to get a policy issued. Okay, so I believe that you can definitely offer this kind of coverage to a Medicare supplement client. There's nothing wrong with giving somebody $100 or $150 a day of hospitalization benefits. It's extra dollars that they can use for other things that Medicare won't pick up in their Med Sup world. Or maybe it may be a good opportunity to be able to give them access to a lump sum cancer benefit because cancer doesn't get picked up by all insurance. All the costs of cancer aren't picked up by insurance. So maybe it'll give somebody an opportunity to have some hospital indemnity and lump sum cancer. Or maybe you might want to have some additional dollars available for skilled nursing with a simplified issue that we have with our product, to be able to do some skilled nursing benefits there for your clients. So again, we can be creative, guys. I can tell you that it works really, really, really well with an MA plan, but with a little different thought process, it can work well with any client just in general. So the next slide here, we're going to talk about the application. Yes, we still do accept paper applications. I know after the past year, we've been talking so much about EAPs, which are great. It's really, really helped streamline the processes and make things issue faster, and also it's helped. It's really helped agents from a I guess you want to call it a windshield time perspective. E-platforms are great, no doubt, but some of us are comfortable talking face to face. I know I love talking, in front of people when we're talking about product and such, because I love that interaction. Other people are like that too, no problem. But completing our applications, we set it up that you can write a husband and wife on one application. Okay. So you write a husband and wife on one application. The front page here is going to be the name, rank, serial number. Second page here will be the health questions. 5 health questions, answer them no, policy will be issued. Don't forget there's that guarantee issue window that we heard in the video, right? And I'll talk about that in a second. And then you got lump sum cancer questions if you add the lump sum cancer rider. And then right here on the third page here will be just telling us what is it that you actually quoted them, what components of the program did the client want. And then you answer a replacement question. Make sure both clients sign it if they're both applying for coverage, because they're each going to get individual policies. And then you make sure you put your writing number on there too, because we want to make sure we credit the sale to the appropriate person. And then we can do a monthly EFT through a checking or savings account. And then that's how easy the application is. Now, from an underwriting perspective, it's even easier. 5 health questions, yes, no app. They answer no, policies issued, no questions asked, right? No MIB, phone interview, RX, any of that stuff. We're probably, I would probably say that our health questions are going to be very lenient in terms of to be able to provide coverage in comparison that's out there in the market today. I think we've done, we're the first ones to ever come out the hospital indemnity plan for the MA market in general. And we had the most flexible product out there and probably the most lenient underwriting. With that also includes with the guarantee issue window of age 64 and a half to age 65 and a half. You know, so if you have a client in that age range right there, you don't have to answer the first 5 health questions. If you're offering your client a lump sum cancer benefit, you always have to answer the questions on the lump sum cancer, even if it's during a guarantee issue window for the, for the rest of the program. Okay. It's important to also bring up about 6-month pre-ex. I think we need to let clients understand what that is. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have day 1 coverage, because you have day 1 coverage with this program. Okay. But what the 6-month pre-ex means is that, yes, you answered no to all the health questions, and you've been seeing it that you saw a doctor in the last 6 months about something that had nothing to do with these health questions. And then that situation, that condition that you saw your doctor about, all of a sudden in the first 6 months that this policy is in force, landed you in the hospital for some reason. Just wanted you to know that that's not going to be a covered condition in the first 6 months. But if that situation landed you in the hospital 6 months and 1 day after the policy is in force, then you got a covered condition for that. But Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you're in perfectly great health. You're not being treated for anything. If 2 weeks after the policy is in force, you happen to have a heart attack, you get hospitalized, being that you haven't had any conditions in the prior past or anything like that going on, that's going to be a covered condition, right? So that's the immediate day 1 coverage and how the from a pre-ex perspective. Now, if you do take paper applications, which is, hey, no problem at all. You could email those to us at und@gtlic.com. Notice I say email. Just scan the application in, put a copy of a voided check on there, and then we'll draft on issue when the policy is issued, right? And so scan it to your computer, attach it to an email, send it to und@gtlic.com. You'll get a confirmation email back that we received it, and then now it's going to be processed and issued really quick. So I know there's a lot of information we're going over here today. One of the things that I want to make sure I just point out, sometimes you're going to have folks that say yes to a health question. I can't do nothing. We can't do anything about that. Health happens, right? So are there other options you can talk about to your clients? Absolutely. You can talk to them maybe about taking care of some radiation chemotherapy copay exposure that they may have with a lump sum cancer plan, or precision care lump sum cancer plan also, or our short-term home healthcare product has a it's a home healthcare program, but has a rider for hospitalization that that may be an option to be able to give them some kind of hospitalization benefit. So there may be some other things. Again, creativity, love that word. So that's something that you can definitely take a look at. Now let's talk from a premium perspective. I mentioned it's issue ages are typically in most states ages 40 to age 85. And then you'll find that we mentioned guarantee issue window. Not all states going to be guarantee issue window. There's like 3 states that don't have it. I believe it's Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Utah. But the rates though are consistent. They're issue age rates across the country. One rate for the whole state. Okay, in your particular state that you may be working in. So if you memorize age 65 rates, unisex rates, you talk to somebody and say, oh yeah, here's a $300 10-day benefit period, Mr. Jones. It's going to cost this much money because you're 65 years old. Okay, I understand. Got it. Very easy, right? So here's an example of what happens, if somebody's hospitalized for a 3-day period, in the MA world. They're going to have to pay out of pocket about $1,100. But I can protect that with our Advantage Plus program here. I can give you a $200 ambulance, $300 a day benefit with a 10-day benefit period for $35 a month. Very affordable, pennies on the dollar to get access to a significant amount of benefit. Remember, now if I said I'm doing a 10-day benefit period, but what happens if that client was hospitalized for 10 days instead of the 3 that I'm showing on the screen? So yeah, they're going to get $300 a day for 10 days. So that's $3,000 plus the $200 for ambulance for that same $35.87 at age 65, for example. There's nowhere else you can do that, guys. It's very, 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 very powerful. So the next question that I typically get from folks is that, well, what is it you should be offering to clients? Okay, what should we be doing here? All right, so I'm kind of going to go about this a little bit backwards. Okay, we've all heard of good, better, best, right? I think we've all kind of used that to some way, shape, or form over the years. I'm going to go best, better, good. I'm going to kind of take it the other way around. And the reason why I do that, and I believe this is a very, I've spoken to a lot of folks that do it this way, but I like it this way too because I believe that as we're talking and educating folks and we're adding costs up to increasing costs, folks start getting a little weary. Oh, do I really need that? And I want to when I see it increasing from this to that. Whereas when I turn around and I present the concept and I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, this is a program that I believe they'll take care of any possible maximum out-of-pocket exposure that you would have for the big things. Okay. So everything that's going to cover for what your plan is at $81 a month. Issue age, so the cost will stay the same for many years to come. Okay. How does that sound to you? I know 99% of the folks are going to say no automatically at $81 a month. I get it, which is fine. I don't mind hearing a no. So, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what was it that you'd like to remove? Would you like to remove the skilled nursing rider, or would you like to remove the lump sum cancer rider? Let's say, okay, I don't think I'm going to need skilled nursing. No problem. Okay, so remove that $17. Okay, so now we're left at $62, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Okay, how's that sound? You're going to get a lot more people, believe it or not, you're going to get a lot more people that'll say yes to $62, $60 or so on a monthly basis than obviously at 80. So, but you're also going to get some of those that I say no, not a problem. You can look at reducing the benefit of the lump sum cancer rider or removing it. So if you remove the lump sum cancer rider, now I'm going to be left with my 10-day benefit period, my $300 a day daily benefit, adding a short-term duration rider. Look how inexpensive that is. It's $1.13 to be able to get a benefit there. A lot of people get hospitalized and discharged within 20 before the 24-hour window there. Then an ambulance rider of $250 per trip for $39.67 a month. How's that sound? Zero premium MA plan, $39 a month to have the max amount of pocket exposure protected against. That sounds like a win-win to me. And by the way, it's another sale for you guys too, right? Well, make sure you contact MAS to talk about, how does that look like from a commission perspective for you. That could be a very, very nice scenario for you there. So that's kind of the way that I've seen a lot of folks do it this way, and I believe it's a good way to have that conversation and get people the coverage that they want and can afford and need. Now let's talk about e-apps. We have those. I'm sure you can imagine that. We have a couple of different platforms though. We have a mobile device platform, which you can access from your Google Play or from the Apple Store. So search up GTL e-app. If you see the turquoise colored icon right there, you got the right app. Go ahead and download it, and you can go ahead and quote, submit applications, do back office work, order supplies. Anything you can do on our second platform, you can do on the mobile app platform. Okay. We also do have a browser-based e-app, which is more geared towards folks that are wanting to take on more of a telephonic sale type of perspective, not face-to-face. And I'll explain the why here in a second. And because the mobile app is designed to be a face-to-face sale. And why is that? Because you're going to have a mobile device right there in front of you. You're going to be in front of a client. You're going to go through the quote, go through the application. Then you can sign the application right on a mobile device for the insured and your signature when it comes time for that. And then once you get those signatures and you hit submit, it's automatically submitted directly to GTL, and there's nothing further you need to do. Now on our browser-based, because it's more of a telephonic-based scenario there, we're going to ask that when you get about third of this last page of the application screens, we're gonna nudge you a little bit to say, hey, time to do a voice verification call, and that's just conferencing in a client, conference them onto our AI service, which is artificial intelligence, right? A computer's going to be asking the questions. Make sure you let your clients know your name, know your date of birth, know your social, know my name as your agent, Mr. Jones, Mrs. Jones, and then know the type of product that we're purchasing. We're purchasing a hospital indemnity plan or home health care, whatever the case may be. And then you're going to get asked the questions about, did you answer the questions truthfully on the application? And hopefully they say yes. And then that they understand that there's a monthly premium associated with this purchase. And then hopefully they say yes. And then once they say yes, complete that, they'll say, okay, thank you, you've been verified. You can drop that call, and then you can go ahead and submit that application. That's how simple that is. So now we're part of our e-app on both platforms. So the platforms work exactly the same with the exception of the signature sides part of it that I just explained. You have access to GTL Link. So you can go to, hopefully you can see that there in the circle part where it says download order forms. You can look at recent business, any pre-recorded webinars that we have are under range of training. Consumer marketing is where you can access the videos and infographics, or even for Advantage Plus, our client presentation that we have available for you. Enforced business, you can look at any notifications that come up through the mailbox. You always want to check that about once a week. And then also our then your commission statements, what you can find under the commissions header there. So what I've done, what our marketing people have done, I should say, is that I'm going to run you, Pat, through our e-app process here. This will take about a minute, which is going to be a lot quicker than me trying to do all the typing for you. So hopefully you sit back and enjoy. All right, so that video here is a great video, obviously to kind of give you a quick glimpse of our e-app process that will work exactly the same way materially for our mobile app and for our web-based version. So hopefully you found the information that we talked about today to be very helpful for you. If you ever have any questions or anything like that, feel free to give us a call at our 800 number, which is 800-323-6907. We'd be happy to answer any kind of product questions for you that you may have, or if you have any issues with your e-app or something like that. It's technology; things do happen sometimes, but you definitely just know that our sales support folks are there for you Monday through Thursday from 7 to 5 Central Time, and on Fridays from 8 to 12 Central. I do appreciate and thank you to MAS, for setting up this webinar today and for your partnership and friendship, most importantly. And if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Well, we don't have any questions in the box, so I think you did a pretty good job. That was a real clear and concise presentation, Dimitri. I appreciate that.
Oh, well, you're very
And
welcome.
once again, there's our phone number at MAS. We can get you connected with GTL and get you signed up. If you have any other questions, or we can do a quick product review again, because as Dimitri said before, there's multiple products with GTL, not just hospital indemnity, but that's what we chose to talk about today. Contact the marketing manager at MAS. We'll be happy to go over any questions that you may have. And since we don't have any questions in the question box, Dimitri, I thank you for your time. And ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your time and hope you have a great day.